Am I audible, my dear friends?
Yes, sir.
I welcome you
You
once
are.
again. Let us start now discussion on writing and speaking. Now, could you please let me know, suppose I'm a student, you are a teacher. Yes, who would like to act as a teacher in the class and I will be a student? Can someone try? Let us assume when I'm appearing for IELTS exam, what are the expectations of an examiner from me? Please understand that there are band descriptors. There is a specific procedure how your language will be assessed. If I give you the brief idea about it, number one is task response that helps examiner to understand that whether I understood the question properly or not. Correct? Now please understand that what are there in writing skills. Number one, I would say that task one. Task one is different for both the candidates, those who are going for academic and those who are going for general training. What is there for the academic candidates? You will be writing a report. What do you understand by report? Dinesh, could you please participate? What do you understand by report? Okay, let me give you the brief idea. Suppose I'm giving a pictorial representation. Okay, I would like to share my screen with you once again so that you get idea what exactly is there in report and in their general training. Are you able to see my screen? Are you able to see this PDF?
No, sir.
Now, are you able to see this PDF?
No, sir.
I've already shared my screen. It must be there. Please check it carefully.
Yeah, because I don't see anything. Only just your like video.
Oh, just give me a moment. Now, what are you able to see on the screen? MS Word
Yeah,
file.
in my screen, write down Prince Grover has started screen sharing.
I understand that. I've shared my screen. Are you able to see this Word
No, sir.
file?
No, sir.
And what about other candidates? Sakshi ma'am, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I am able to. I
Yeah,
think when we are using the phone, no, sometimes we
there may be,
think
there may be.
yeah,
If you are using your
maybe.
mobile handsets, then there may be some technical issue that you are not able to find it. Okay, no problem.
Yeah,
Without looking into the screen, I will help you to understand what is there in task one. Report writing means I'm going to present you some information, more factual information, a kind of data. I can also show you pie charts. I'm going to present a map or something like that. It is a pictorial representation. On the basis of the facts available, you have to make a story, not a story but a report. You have to intimate, you have to make interpretations what information is provided in this diagram. Okay, so now the question here is how many words I should write there. Number one, I'm supposed to write at least 60 words. And what time I will be given? In total I'm given 60 minutes. In total I'm given 60 minutes, but for report writing I should take not more than 20 minutes. Now it looks, you may find it very easy that you can easily finish, but it is not the real scenario because the examination conditions are full of pressure. So whatever the score that you are getting in actual practice, maybe in the classroom or at your home, I would again look into the sustenance. I mean to say whether this is a consistent score or not. If your score is not sustainable, today you are getting good score, but tomorrow the score goes below abruptly. If it happens, then I would say that no, it is not the real score. So that means we have to look into what are the examination conditions, what is my performance as on date, and how I can improve my confidence and how to tackle such challenges that I may come across in the examination room. Is it clear? Such things are also to be looked into. Number one, number two. Earlier, this test was also known as LRW. You know, when you are applying for IELTS exam, the test was conducted when you're booking your date. What date that you can book? Suppose I want to appear for this test on 15th January. I can book this slot. I can make this payment. I shall get the receiving confirmation. But I have booked my slot for LRW, listening, reading, and writing. So that means what about speaking? For the speaking, you will be receiving a text message 2 or 3 days prior to the date of examination. For example, if it is 15 January, let us say, then I may receive this message in the late evening of 11th or 12th January that I have to appear for speaking on the next day. There may be sufficient time gap. You'll be having time at least 24 hours in between. So you will be going for speaking test immediately. So you should not wait for 15th January if you are booking your test date. So you should make yourself readily available at least 1 week prior to that. Okay, now this is question number 1. Number 2, suppose I'm going for online test, computer delivered. There is a possibility that you will be appearing for speaking test either prior to the date that you have booked or on the same date, because most of the times the computer delivered exams are conducted at the centers of the IDP. So they are having their speaking centers at the same place. So it is most probably that either you are going for prior to your exam for speaking, or you have received the speaking test module test on the same day when you are going for LRW, because the test is center is same. But in case of pen and paper based test, the tests are generally conducted in some areas, in some places or some buildings where there is huge infrastructure, like uh, luxurious hotels like that. So if it happens, of course, there is no examiner to conduct your speaking. Either you will be appearing for the speaking test prior to your examination date, or it is possible that your exam is on 15th, but you have received text message that your speaking test is on 18th January. It could also be there after your test date. The reason being is that the result is to be declared within 13 days for pen and paper based test. But for computer delivered, they have to declare this result within 3 to 5 days. So if they postpone your speaking test, if they delay your speaking test while having a comparison with LRW, then of course they will not be able to announce your result at the earliest possible. Are you able to understand what did I say so far? Say at least yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now what did I write? Why did I write LRW? Why did I not write WRL? Earlier, the exam was conducted in this flow. The first test will be listening. Second test will be reading. These three tests, these three skills will be tested on the same day. There is no time gap between. If suppose I'm going to the examination hall and the reporting time is 8:30, the test they start at 10 o'clock. So that means the first test they will be giving me will be of listening. Is it clear?
Yes.
Please mute yourself, my dear friends. Okay, so the first test was listening, and the second test will be reading. The third test will be writing. But with effect from 25th June, they have changed the sequence now. So in case I'm going for offline test, pen and paper based option. If I'm going for pen and paper based option, they have changed. They have made LRW into WRL. So that means the first test that I will be appearing writing. Second test would be reading. The third test would be listening. So if it happens, I may have to maintain a sufficient, or I could say enormous amount of the concentration that I'm able to more focus on listening, because it is going to be the third test and I may exhaust. Yes, but earlier it was not happening. Now one question that you could ask me, sir, if I go for this online test here means computer delivered test, then what is the flow? The flow is same actually for the computer delivered candidates that was earlier prior to 25th June. So that same test is conducted in the same flow. Listening, reading, writing. For online, if you are going for a test today, if you are going for offline test, if you are booking your dates for the next month or maybe for the upcoming days, this will go in the flow of WRL. Irrespective of the test type, if you are going for academic or general training, it hardly matters for them. Is it clear? The flow of the test will go in the same way. Are you able to understand?
Yes.
I really I submit my sincere apologies because I do not have sufficient time. That's why I'm trying to help you to understand the fundamentals of all the skills so that you have better understanding. If you have better understanding, then only you will be able to prepare what strategy that you are going to have for the exams. Am I right? Is it really good to plan for the future? Narendra sir, would you like to say something?
Yeah, I want to go London because I have there more pupils, my friend and colleague.
Okay. So like you said the word peoples, am I right? Peoples, correct? So peoples, if sir said
Yeah.
people, so should I say straightforwardly correct or incorrect?
Yes.
This is actually correct, but I
Correct.
have to understand the meaning. What did he want to convey? People is actually means number of persons. If I say peoples, peoples actually means countries in a particular continent. So rather before I say someone is correct or incorrect in English, I should understand what are the perspectives, in what perspective this person wants to convey this message. Am I right? Similarly, when you're going for writing test, when you're going for speaking test, you have to be a better listener. If you do not understand what is exactly being asked by the paper set in writing, what is exactly being asked by the examiner in speaking, your answers will go incorrect. Yes or no? I will give you one example.
Yes.
If I ask you one question, may I know your full name? Narendra sir, would you like to answer, please? May I
Sorry,
know
sir.
your full name? May I know your full name?
Narendra Kumar.
Correct. So when this question is being asked to me in the examination hall when I'm appearing for speaking test, I would say like this: my full name is Prince Grover. There are two ways to give this answer. My full name is Prince Grover. My full name is Prince Grover. So which one is better? First one or second one?
Second one.
Second one. And one more thing. Your body language plays a very important role, I would say. Your facial expression, your gestures, your hand gestures, your eye-to-eye contact. But it can also be very dangerous. Narendra sir, it can be very dangerous for us, especially by 90% the examiners are the female candidates. They are conducting my exam. I'm a student. They are conducting my exam. If suppose I'm constantly looking into their eyes, they will feel uncomfortable, and I'm sure that I will be given 5.5 band there. That can also be a factor of consideration. So it matters a lot whether I'm very good in English. It hardly matters. How do I present myself? It matters a lot. In short, is it clear? We have to understand
Yes.
certain things. It's not just the language, but it is also means I'm going to present myself. So presentation does not come along with the words. It is also accompanied by our actions, our gestures, our confidence, our voice. When I said my name is Prince Grover, when I said my full name is Prince Grover, so it makes a difference. And furthermore, if I say my full name is Prince Naresh Kumar Grover, if I take my father's name there, then I'm taking a pose. Prince Naresh Grover, correct? So if there are three words in my name, I'm supposed to take the poses. If the examiner does not understand properly, then it's a wastage of time. I will not be getting the desired band. Now, one person can challenge me very openly. I'm also a YouTuber. I have uploaded so many videos. So once upon a time, someone challenged me, sir, you have said one thing that in speaking there are four parts. I said, of course. What he said, sir, I have read the book. There are three parts. I said, you might have read, but yes, I do have also book one that is published by British Council, and they have mentioned clearly that there are four parts. Now there is a difference in the thoughts. The thought is that the first part is actually introduction. The first part is introduction, where I will ask as an examiner three questions. May I know your full name? How may I address you? And then I will ask you, may I have your proof of identification? Like this. So if I ask you this thing, this is an introduction. And my language is not assessed in this part that is known as introduction. So he was actually right. But I'm making my candidates to be more focused for introduction itself. That's why I used to ask them, there are four parts. Am I right? But yes, it is the reality that the assessment of your language will start from part one. Part one means when they start asking you questions. Okay? When they start asking you questions. If I ask you, which place would you like to live in future? Maybe an independent house or an apartment. So these are the ice-breaking questions. I'm trying to make you feel more familiar so that you speak and I could be able to assess your language. Am I right? It's very easy to speak, honestly speaking. But when I'm listening to someone, it requires enormous amount of patience. It's very easy to become a speaker. It's very difficult to become a good listener. Am I right? I'm still learning to become a good listener because I got 8.5, I have to make it 9. That means I'm still not a good listener. The same thing is there. The reason being is that I need to have more patience. If I want to speak at the fastest possible, if I want to convey one message and I'm conveying 10 messages, it may present like I'm having more anxiety, more excitement. But when I'm listening, that means there is no excitement. I have to face the excitement of another person, the speaker, because I'm the listener. So it is great to become a good listener, first of all, if you really want to improve your writing, speaking, and reading skills. Now you will ask me why? Because there is a flow of the information that I would discuss with you in the upcoming sessions, how to improve your listening and how listening can have, I would say, a significant impact on your overall learnings. Suppose I'm watching a documentary or suppose I'm watching an English news channel, whatever the vocabulary that they are using, it matters a lot for me. Someone told me that, sir, I'm having better fluency than you. I said, it's really good. I appreciate. I should not appreciate. I should say, I greatly appreciate. Which one is better? I appreciate your efforts or I greatly appreciate your efforts. Now it's your turn. I appreciate your efforts. I greatly appreciate your efforts.
I appreciate your effort.
Not greatly. This is the sentence. Am I right?
Yeah.
Another sentence is, I will give you one example. Suppose I'm feeling hungry and I'm going to a restaurant, okay? And I asked, what is the price for pulao? You understand what is pulao?
Yeah.
Rice dish. Am I right?
Yeah. Rice.
So the person
Rice
said the
dish.
price is here is 50 rupees. I said okay. Then I went to the next shop, which was just next to him, next outlet, and the person said that the price of pulao here is 80 rupees. I said, why are you asking? Why are you charging me extra? This person is selling me a plate
50.
of pulao just for 50 rupees. Yeah, sir, my pulao is different. The raw material is same. Rice is same. I'm also using the same brand rice. I mean to say of the same brand. But the thing that makes my pulao different is because I'm adding extra ingredients like coriander. I'm also giving you a ginger chutney, something like that. I'm also giving you buttermilk so that you enjoy the food. Am I right? So the raw material is
Yes.
same. Everyone speaks English. You appreciate, I greatly appreciate. So that means my pulao here is of value 80 and it will help me to get a better score. This is a pulao with extra ingredients. Am I right? Suppose you said
Yes.
that, sir, your lectures influenced us, let us say. And again you said, no, your lectures have heavily influenced us. Now you said, no, sir, we will not be using, we will write, your sessions have very influenced us. Now, which one is better? Only influenced, heavily influenced,
Very,
very influenced.
very influenced.
Lectures
Very
heavily.
influenced. Very
Yeah.
means anybody can use, everybody can use, correct? But if someone
Yeah.
uses, this is 50 rupees plow. So please add a better product to make your, to increase or to enhance the value of your product. Similarly, everyone speaks English. So it's not like that. I appreciate everyone, those who speak English. Just as a teacher, I'm just trying to make you feel the difference. The language that I'm speaking, that you are speaking, we can learn from each other. Here, I'm putting C1, C2 category words. I'm trying to enhance your vocabulary. And this vocabulary not only help you to understand, to write better in writing, but also to perform better in the speaking skills. And this kind of the vocabulary you will come across in reading. If suppose you are not able to understand C1, C2, B1, B2 category words, then how will you face reading test? It will be very challenging because they use 9 band
Yes.
vocabulary in reading. Am I right? And of course, it is
Yeah.
more challenging for the people those who are going for general category, general training. They must get 8 bands in listening and at least 7 bands in reading. 8777. This is a criteria to submit profile for express entry. It's very challenging, and you know, 7 bands means 35 to 36 correct answers out of 40 from the language, from the context, which are having the language level of C1, C2. It matters a lot. Am I right? A little knowledge is a very dangerous thing. So if you start reading newspaper, it is absolutely fine. But you have to understand what is the level of language, whether it is B1, B2. Shall I be able to improve my language? If suppose you are a beginner, then I would say yes, you can read any newspaper. If you are an absolute beginner, now which one is better? Beginner or absolute beginner? Which one is better?
Absolutely.
So should I say that I'm trying to
Absolutely.
enhance the value of my pulao? Or this is dosa with butter. This is butter dosa, and the dosa that was without butter, this was beginner. Am I right? Okay. So the words that you are using matters a lot. Sometimes I'm putting adjectives, sometimes I'm putting this adverbs just in order to present my hold on the language. So I'm not perfect, honestly speaking. I'm also a learner. Just I'm trying to share my experience with you all. Okay. So do not imagine that I'm trying to dominate on all you. Just as a teacher, as a facilitator, because I'm also a student, I frequently appear for ITS exam at least once in 6 months in order to check my level. If today I'm telling you this is the right approach, there should not be an experiment. I firmly believe in such things. Okay, so you can just please understand that whenever you are going for writing and speaking, this kind of the approach should be there, heavily influenced. Now one more mistake. Sorry, this was heavily. I'm typing now, so sometimes I'm not able to focus on all the things simultaneously. So if I write like this, heavily influenced, so this is actually a phrase. This is a phrase. Of course, it is a more natural phrase and effective. So the examiners are looking for the phrases. If you go to Google and type 9 band vocabulary, Google will provide you the words, only words, and the words will not help you to get good band. You need natural phrases. How will you learn natural phrases? where the language is spoken by the native speakers. Either I can read newspapers, I can watch documentaries, but do not watch English movies. You can watch English movies to entertain yourself, but do not watch English movies to enhance your bands, because the language that is used is not academic. And if you really want to get a good band, if you want to improve your communication skills overall, I'm not only IELTS trainer, I'm also creative writing expert and public speaker. So here you must be knowing how you can enhance, how you can improve your overall personality. If you work on your personality, if you work on your communication skills, if you try to improve your listening overall, automatically your this skill will improve. Okay, your score will be improved very soon. Is it fine? Have you understood something? Have you understood the difference between a pulao 50 rupees and a pulao
Yeah.
80 rupees? Or a dosa
Yes,
with butter at 80 rupees and a dosa without butter at 50 rupees? There's a difference. Am I right? It's all about the investment. So investment if I make, I will get a better product, a product with better quality. Do you agree with me?
yeah.
Okay, so now let us come back to the discussion. Writing task 1, academic, you will be given report writing. Report writing means a picture is presented to you. It could be either bar graph, maybe pie chart, maybe a map. I have to interpret my understandings. I have to make certain interpretation. So minimum I should write 150 words and 20 minutes. One of the students once asked me, sir, is there negative marking in IELTS? I said there is no negative marking as far as listening and reading is concerned. But yes, if you do not write 150 words in task 1, and 250 words in task 2, that is essay writing, then of course there is a negative marking. But there is nothing mentioned on the band descriptors. I will also be sharing with you band descriptors and band conversion table if I get sufficient time. But let me make you to understand and more familiar with the fundamentals of all the skills. Otherwise, understanding band descriptors is a secondary part. Primarily I should understand what is there in listening, writing, reading, and what do they want to check from my language. Okay, let us understand here. Task 1, report writing. A picture will be given, you have to interpret, you have to make a story. But yes, it cannot be the story because you cannot add opinions. Somewhere it is what you are able to learn from the facts and figures provided. So somewhere interpretation, data is provided, correct? So I will be helping you how to write task 1, where to put summary. There are again many areas of the confusion. Don't worry, you are in safe hands. If you want to check my scorecard, I can share my screen also. I have received 7.5 bands in general training. I have received 7.5 bands in academic. So I'm well aware how to write an essay, how to write a report. I'm not going to have an experiment because I already had a number of experiments on me. Okay. After having such experiments, I have made candidates to get 7.5 bands in first attempt. In fact, one of my candidates got 9 band out of 9 in reading. And in fact, my score was 7.5 band in reading. And the highest score that I got and that candidate got was 7 bands in writing. Why? Because the writing is divided into 2 tasks. If I say task 1, here the weightage is given to the task 1 1/3 weightage. So that means I shall be given a band out of 3. And in case of task 2, what will be there? Task 2 is basically essay writing. Am I right? In essay writing, how many words I'm supposed to use? 250 words. And I must spend 40 minutes. And here I should try to finish task 1 in 20 minutes. And here I will be given score out of 6. So in total, I will be given out of 3 in task 1. If I'm going for academic, it is report writing. If I'm going for general training, it is letter writing. A letter could either be, is it either or either?
Either.
Either. So if I say either,
Yeah.
am I wrong? This is American accent I'm using, but I'm wrong because I'm consistently using British accent. Then I'm wrong. There's no consistency. Then I can say there's no consistency in your language. And consistency is one of the parameters here I'm discussing with you. For task 2, there are these parameters. Task, response, number 1. Number 2, coherence and cohesion. Number 3, lexical resource. Number 4, GRA, grammatical range and accuracy. Lexical means vocabulary. As you said, very influenced. If I say heavily influenced, I will be given better score because my vocabulary matters and it is more natural and more effective. Am I right? So as a teacher, my duty is not to impress you using my showing my skills. As a teacher, my primary duty is whether I am able to convey you right message, whether I am able to give you right direction or not. What's more important in your life? Either a speed or a direction. What's more important? Either a speed or direction. Say something.
I think both are speed and direction.
I firmly believe that, or it is my firm conviction that direction is more important than speed. Am I right?
Uh,
Yes or no?
yes.
So better I finish one test fully today. It is good to cover one or two sections, but with quality, so that I should understand, I should have a stability in my score. If suppose you have attempted 4 sections just because you are in a hurry, what is there in a hurry? What is there? What is this? It is a natural phrase. It is a fixed expression. I cannot change the article. I cannot modify the article. So these are the things that you have to learn. It is not all about just vocabulary, but also the natural phrases that I'm saying, fixed expressions, or the some of the times idioms. Okay. So we have to work on our skills in overall basis. So if you look into just I'm reading newspaper, I can improve. No. If you are having inputs of various types, for example, you are listening, you are watching English news, then you are also reading newspaper. So in this way, you are going to have a number of inputs. So more inputs means the more output. Am I right? More inputs must be there. If you expect a lot from your mind to speak, how will your mind speak until or unless you have given necessary inputs to it? Yes or no?
Yes.
If I do not write into my system, how will it present you? So without putting inputs, I cannot see, I cannot prove you, I cannot show you outputs there. So both are going in the same direction and both are dependent on each other. I can say they are corresponding. Correct? So these are the parameters. In task 1, what happens? The same parameters are followed. But in task 1, what happens? The first parameter here is, that is task response. So it becomes task achievement. Why? Task achievement means I'm giving you some data, information where you cannot add your opinion. You have to do whatever I have asked. You cannot reduce the number. You cannot add up any information. You cannot make any predictions. So it happens. It is task achievement and task response that makes difference from task 1 to task 2. In case of band descriptors, I mean to say the parameters on the basis of which my writing will be assessed. If you ask me technically, this is my opinion. If you check on Google, if you check their books, honestly speaking, according to their records, there is no difference. They say that task achievement, task response, both are same. But honestly asking, if I really get a chance to ask them, then why did you mention task response and task achievement? If I look into the actual meaning of achievement means it is very specific. Response means it is a kind of response that could either be affirmative or negative. So I do have options, either I should go for positive or negative side. But in task achievement, I cannot add any opinion because it is based on the picture that you have shown to me, the picture that you have provided me. Is it clear? So I believe you understood properly what is there in writing. Task 1, task 2. Task 1 is report writing, 20 minutes, in total 60 minutes. 1/3 weightage is given in task 1. Then you could have asked me, sir, why do you want to become our teacher? You just got 7 bands. Why have you have not received 8 bands or 8.5? I could have been given 8 bands very easily, but it is divided into two parts. The highest score in task 1 out of 3, that is 2, and the highest score in task 2 out of 6 is 5. So 2 plus 5, it is 7. That's a reason. That's a reason. And furthermore, I'm typing on the screen. You are comfortable with writing. If I write on board, you may find like, sir, your handwriting is not good. And I've always appeared for pen and paper based test. So it matters a lot whether you're going for computer delivered test or a pen paper based test. But please understand, are you comfortable with computer on all skills or not? You are good in typing, but you are not able to concentrate fully, especially when you're going through the reading context. If you go for computer delivered, then all the three skills will be tested on the computer alone. Is it clear? So we have to understand properly whether I'm comfortable with pen and paper based option, computer delivered option. If you have any doubt, you can discuss with me. You can appear for mock test. Here I can give you my analysis. You are actually standing at B1 or B2. Suppose your band is 6 or it is 5.5. Then I would again suggest you should at least wait for 1 or 2 months. Prepare well. Otherwise, you are wasting your money. How much money that you will be spending? 15,500. 15,500 you are spending, and you know that you will not be given a band. So you may not be knowing, but your faculty will be knowing, because this is B1 language. What your score is that you are expecting B2 and above, upper intermediate. So it will be very challenging. Before you waste your money, I have no objection. You can speak to Sakshi ma'am. You can appear for mock test. I can give you my analysis. automatically you will understand what is the level of education, what kind of commitment in quality, what is the professionalism with us. Okay, that's all I discussed with you on writing skills. Now let us have brief idea on speaking skills. Do you want to discuss with me on speaking? What is there in speaking? Will you be thinking in the mind, what is there? Why do they want me to go for speaking test? What have you observed from my speaking? I have been
Pronunciation.
constantly speaking, correct?
Yes.
Since 1 p.m. Is it 1 p.m. since is it correct or no? Wrong?
Yeah.
There are certain mistakes.
Now, now.
There can be mistake. No? Think. There is one criteria, GRA, grammatical range and accuracy. If I give my reference, I'm TESOL Canada qualified candidate, TESOL Canada board exam, which is one of the highest degree in Canada and USA. This is a competitive exam, like the exams are being conducted by the Karnataka government. Am I right? For the state jobs, like that, like UPSC exam civil service. So if you qualify competitive exams, that means you have done a lot of research, you have understood the concept, it matters. So my dear friends, as a speaker, or suppose you are a speaker, I'm
round मारेंगे.
please mute yourself, my dear friends, so that everyone can understand me. Yes. So let us understand first of all what is there in introduction in speaking. I will say that this is introduction plus 3 parts. Correct? What is there in part 1? I shall be asking you a list of questions, maybe 4 to 5 questions to make you feel more comfortable. I hope everyone cannot see my screen, but at least you can see the screen, okay? So that you understand what is there in speaking. Are you able to see the screen? Those who can.
Yes.
Okay, so you can see easily, you can easily watch that there are 3 parts. Part 1, basic questions to make you feel familiar. Suppose I ask Dinesh, Mr. Dinesh, may I ask you one question if you don't mind? Okay. Hema ma'am wants to participate. Hema, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, will you just give me answer if I ask you one question? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want to know about your state. From where are you? Just simple question. Where are you from? This is formal. Where are you from?
I am from Telangana, sir.
Now, one mistake here can be, Hema, just I'm trying to help you, never mind. For example, whenever we answer in IELTS, we always look into paraphrasing. Paraphrasing means I shall be answering the question but using different words. Please continue, Hema ma'am. I will help you. I'm a teacher.
Yes, sir.
Once upon a time, I was also the beginner. Beginner
Yes,
or
sir.
absolute beginner?
Absolutely.
Absolute beginner.
Absolute big.
Yeah, this is life. If we learn, then it is our duty to share it with people. Then only you can consider yourself a good teacher. Otherwise, you are just a teacher to earn money. No, you must be passionate. That's more important. Otherwise, I cannot deliver you quality if I'm not passionate enough. Honestly speaking. Hema ma'am, please continue. I want to hear. I'm
Yes,
having
sir.
6 minutes. Please continue.
Yes, sir. Like I have done my GNM, like General Nursing Midwifery from Mumbai. It is in Mumbai in Crawford Market, and I have done my GNM last 20 years.
So GNM here means, if I'm not wrong, related to nursing course. Am I right?
Yes,
Yes.
nursing course,
Okay.
sir.
I'm really
It's a
sorry I do
diploma
not know.
course.
A diploma course.
Yeah.
So can I say
It's a
that I have successfully accomplished GNM? I've
Yes, I
successfully
have
accomplished GNM from
successfully completed. Yes,
successfully
yes, sir.
accomplished. Successfully accomplished. A better word.
Successfully completed, sir.
Am I right? Narendra sir wants to say something. Narendra sir, feel free. You can ask me any
Yes,
question
yes.
on the spot I like.
No question. Just I am listening and thinking.
No, just say something. Do you feel like that there is some situation where you find it is very challenging to give effective answer where I can help you out? Are you
Yes.
satisfied with this session?
Yeah. Yes.
Can I say that you are satisfied or should I say that you are tremendously satisfied? Which one is better?
Tremendously satisfied.
Tremendously. I should also look into
Yeah.
spellings because I'm going to appear for writing test. Okay. Time is not sufficient. Tremendously. TREMENDOUSLY.
Tremendous.
Tremendously. Like that. Enormously. Completely. Ridiculously. So many words are there. Correct. And these
Yes.
words, whatever
Yeah.
I'm discussing with you, what do we call them? Intensifying verbs. So I'm helping you. You may not be knowing what is intensifying. It hardly matters for me. What does it know? What do I call it? The thing matters is whether I'm helping you to learn functional English or not. That's more important. We have already
Yes,
learned
sir.
English in my school days, everyone. But why are we going for IELTS coaching? Just because we are not having the requirements, we are not able to meet the requirements. We studied English, but this is not functional English that we had. But now we need functional English. So for that, I cannot say expert. By the grace of God, I'm quite able to help you out. That's it. That's what I can commit to. Okay, so in listening, you'll be having like three parts: P1, Part 2, Part 3. Part 1 means set of questions. Part 2 means you will be given a cue card. Cue card means a question where you will be given 1 minute. Please mute yourself. You will be given 1 minute to think and plan. You can use pen and paper. After thinking for 1 minute, you have organized your ideas. Now you have to make a speech, and the speech will go for 1 to 2 minutes. 1 to 2 minutes means minimum 1 minute, maximum 2 minutes. Now it is 3 minutes 46 seconds. Let me finish. So in this way, you will be appearing for cue card. 1 minute to think and plan, 1 to 2 minutes for speech. Then the examiner will ask you 1 or 2 follow-up questions. You will not come to know what is the difference between part 2 and 3 because part 2 and part 3 they are closely associated with each other. Suppose someone has asked me about traveling, then part 3 will be related to traveling only or about tourism. So I will not be able to make a difference between part 2 and part 3. But one thing is confirmed that one student told me that so I couldn't perform well in part 1, but I did really well in part 3. Then I asked him, you have done very good job because part 3 is discursive question. It is a set of discursive questions where I have to answer my questions at length. At least 5 to 6 statements should be made by me for each answer, each question. If you do not do, then of course you are going to reappear. I'm very open. If you performed very well in part 3, you couldn't do well in part 1, part 2, it is fine. If you did not perform well in part 3, then I would say that you continue with your preparation. The reason being is that part 3 actually presents your communication skills. Okay, so it's all about what I've discussed with you: writing task 1, task 2, and speaking. Now I'm left with 2 minutes 30 seconds. You are free to ask me your doubts. That's all from my end. I really I apologize you because the time was not sufficient, so I was trying to cover as much as possible. Of course, if you're joining, I shall be having sessions. They are very professionally designed, and you will be able to learn the things properly. I cannot guarantee you band 7, band 8, but one thing that I can guarantee you, you will become a very good speaker in your day-to-day conversation, number 1. And of course, if you become a good speaker, you improve your writing, nobody can stop you to get a good band in IELTS. That is also sure. Okay, I'm left with 2 minutes. Kindly feel free to ask me your doubts. Narendra sir, Hima ma'am,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Saib Gulam, I'm there to solve your doubts. Mr. Dinesh, Sakshi ma'am, I'm very
Yes,
open for the
sir.
discussion.
Sir, if they
Yes,
are
sir.
not having
Actually,
any doubt, I'm okay with that.
There must not be a doubt, that is good, but still someone might have
Yes.
joined in between, so you may be having
Yeah.
certain areas that you couldn't understand properly. Someone asked me, sir,
sir,
how
hello.
shall I solve my doubts? I said there will not be no be doubt. There shall not be any doubt in my session. Don't worry. Please ask. Gentlemen, please ask. 1 minute 20 seconds. Please fast.
Sir, what is the procedure to become an expert in learning?
Uh,
What type of vocabularies or any
I need
grammar
time. I
should
actually
we have
need time to
to?
discuss with you. My session will expire within 1 minute 10 seconds. But I will give you the brief idea. If you really want to improve your language, you have to work on your functional language. Rather looking IELTS books or general English, you have to make yourself more familiar with newspapers of C1, C2 category. You should start watching international news channels like that. Then only you will be able to improve your communication skills. Just I'm left with few seconds. Please ask another doubt. My session may end up abruptly because the time is going to end.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Okay,
all.
then we can
Let
call.
me say very thank you to
Yes.
everyone for spending a valuable time. Thank you so much, Sakshi ma'am, for giving me this platform to share my experience with the candidates.
Thanks
Thank you
to
so
you,
much,
sir, for.
ladies and
Thank you.
gentlemen,
Thank you,
for
sir.
this time. I hope to meet you soon, very soon. Take care.
Yes, 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 sir.
Stay
Thank you
blessed.
so much
Stay
for the
safe.
Okay.
session.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
God
Thank you so
bless you.
much.
Prepare well.